Alright, welcome back everyone. Today we're talking about the world, okay? The world is not in the best state right now, okay? Sorry for stating the obvious, but a bunch of really bad things are happening. I mean, it's been happening all of 2020 so far, and this year is genuinely just a string of bad luck for all of humanity. But very recently, we were just reminded that 2020 still isn't over. There's still about a week left to dig the knife deeper and deeper into your body and make everybody suffer. So I'm pretty sure you guys have probably heard of this stimulus bill by now. Pretty much it's a bill meant to give relief to the American people after the long pandemic, and pretty much Americans earning less than $75,000 a year. I'm not too sure the exact numbers, but yeah, all those people get $600 as relief from the long pandemic. Now obviously I don't think you have to be Einstein to realize that $600 is not helping anyone whatsoever. I mean, most people are talking about it on Twitter about how they're gonna spend it on an Xbox or a PS5 or something, because when you're screwed and when you're going down anyways, might as well go down enjoying yourself, right? I mean, it's pretty evident that people wanted a bit more, and people honestly expected a bit more to be given by the government, especially when you realize how much money they have to give to other places, right? Like, they're literally giving absurd amounts of money to every single place except their own people, right? I mean, I think they almost had $1 trillion to give away, like 800 billion, like that's a billion, not a million, dude. And they gave it away to all these different countries and to all these places that are literally not related to the pandemic whatsoever, and they could only spare $600 per citizen who's earning less than $75,000 a year. So here we have a screenshot of where the $800 billion is going, right? And you can see the split isn't actually the greatest thing ever. I mean, this is just laughable, right? I mean, it's not just $600 obviously, because you got to multiply it times the population of America, and only the people who fit the criteria, right? $75,000 or less. But even when you multiply it, it's like maximum $200 billion. So where did the rest of the $600 billion or $700 billion, where did it go? Listen, I'm not gonna act like I know how to run a government or whatever, but I just know that you can spare a bit more money, okay? Now don't worry, the bad news doesn't end there. We are actually talking about two topics this video. So along with this terrible stimulus bill, right? Another law which we are pretty familiar with. I mean, last week we talked about the DMCA law, where streamers go to jail for playing copyrighted music. And we were talking about how unlikely it is that this would actually pass, because it's clearly insane, and the person who proposed it is also insane. So, yeah. It has been passed. Yeah, so streamers can go to jail for playing copyrighted music now, and, that's just a thing. Alright, so we'll talk about that in a second, but wow, man, I just don't understand, is everybody making laws just a boomer or something? The system is so broken, you know what this bill was? It had 5,000 pages, and they expected the Congress or whatever, the people who were voting for the bill to pass, to vote on it in 2 hours. The bill arrived in the morning, and then they had 2 hours to read through it. 5,000 pages, which I'm no mathematician, but that is physically impossible. I think one of the Congress members made a video saying that you would have to read 15 or 16 pages a minute to actually complete reading the bill. Now, no human being can read 15 pages a minute, let alone retain the information and make an informed decision on whether to actually pass the bill or not. So pretty much everybody has to vote on this bill, having barely skimmed through it. I mean, just looking at the most important parts or whatever. I mean, I don't even know how you're supposed to locate that, because obviously there's going to be these people who are sneaking in these stupid laws, like the law that wants to send content creators to prison, which somehow just passed with this bill, because they probably didn't even get to that. They couldn't read the whole thing. Honestly, I don't even know the word for this. This is complete madness. It's actually an embarrassment to the word Congress, dude. Anyway, so Trump actually came out and said that he might veto this bill, and I think that's the first time that both sides are agreeing and saying, get rid of this stupid bill, because $600 isn't helping anybody, and this DMCA thing is just absolutely absurd. So pretty much Trump made a video saying that the Congress should increase the pay to each American to $2,000, right? Or $4,000 per couple. Otherwise, he will probably veto it. I don't think he explicitly said it, but I think that's what's being implied, and that's why it was trending on Twitter. And honestly, I mean, $2,000 is definitely going to help way more than a measly $600, and I feel like it's a bit more fair to the American people, considering considering they just went through a really, really rough pandemic. I really don't know how they had the balls to actually pass this bill without even reading it. Like, some of the people who voted yes have come out on Twitter and said, oh yeah, we couldn't even read it. This was so bad. So why did you vote yes? Are you, like, if you don't know something, isn't like the go-to to reject it until you can actually fully read it, right? And then pass it later on. Is like, I don't understand. If you don't fully understand it, why would you pass it? It's genuinely a bunch of low IQ individuals sitting in Congress, and it's honestly pathetic. Like, $600 is such a spit in the face when you think about how much money they had to give away. They had to give away $800 billion, and they gave away $600 to each American. That is pathetic. It doesn't really seem like a relief bill to the people. It seems like a relief bill to everybody else but the people. Alright, so let's move on to the DMCA thing, because my god. So into the stimulus bill, right? In one of those 5,000 pages, they snuck in the DMCA bill. And obviously, people didn't have time to read it, or even if they did read it, the boomers there will probably go like, this seems okay. I don't like the content creators anyways. These boomers are probably the same people who think that video games cause violence or something. You know, video games are the root of all evil in society. I don't know if mainstream media and TV and all are like afraid of content creators and they really want to get like rid of them because they're easily pulling in more views than any like TV shows or anything like that. And I don't know, like you have to get with the times. You can't just shut people down because you're not doing as well. But yeah, pretty much in a nutshell, it is now illegal to stream copyrighted material. So you whistle the wrong tune on a live stream, you know, you're having a great day, you're playing some Among Us, you just won as imposter, you start whistling, you whistle the wrong tune and you're going to jail because it could have been copyrighted. And I can't even imagine how stuff like this even happens. Like, imagine you wake up the next morning in jail and your cellmate asks you, what you in for? And you go, oh, I accidentally played the happy birthday song. Oh, that's cool, I killed someone. Like, genuinely, this has got to be a joke, right? And it says that you can go to jail for 5 to 10 years because you accidentally played Drake or something. Like, okay, listen, are they gonna actually send you to jail for 10 years? I mean, since they passed the bill, I feel like anything is possible, right? Like, you can't really rule anything out. Like, we like, literally last week, I was like, it is impossible. No sane person is gonna vote for this. But apparently, when you don't know what's going on, you just agree with everybody and you just say, oh yeah, yes, let's pass the bill. It's like one of those boomers was just like, oh yeah, I read it. I actually read as fast as the Flash, and I'm telling you, the bill is perfectly fine. You can say yes. And you know what's the stupidest part of all of this? Like, fine, you passed the bill, right? Actually not fine, but you know, you passed the bill. But there's no exception for accidents or anything like that. Like, if you're intentionally playing copyrighted material and you really want to hurt this company or whatever, oh sure, take them down. But there's no exception for accidents. Because at this point, I think you guys know that Twitch is the biggest streaming platform. What is Twitch known for? Video games. And you know what's in video games? What's in a lot of random video games? Copyrighted music. So sometimes you're just playing a game, you're having some fun, notably Cyberpunk, and you know, even though you switch off copyrighted music, there's still some parts which the devs didn't really take into consideration. You know, they didn't realize that this was copyrighted music, and then bam, you get hit with that copyright strike, and boom, you're going to jail. You know what's gonna happen right now? It's like when somebody flashes their parts on stream, they desperately try to close the stream, or when somebody accidentally gets tricked into saying a slur or something, they try to close the stream and delete the VOD, right? But that's gonna happen when somebody plays copyrighted music now. They're gonna have to try and close their stream like they just flashed a teeth, you know? You know, people have paid thousands and thousands of dollars to make sure that this bill gets passed, right? These giant companies are supporting this bill because they have a deal with the music companies and they're gonna share their revenue, right? It's I don't want to be that guy, but it's all this giant plot pretty much. And you know what's really frustrating? This is an issue I see in all parts of society. So I was complaining about the education system and how school is so old-fashioned and, you know, nothing makes sense. DMCA is the exact same thing. So many people have made things that worked back in the day, right? And they were well enough to progress society. But now, in the modern era, they are completely outdated and they need to be reworked, but nobody's taking the initiative. They're just like, oh, let's just use the old stuff. Honestly, at this point, I just hope that people try supporting the content creators affected in any way they can. I mean, obviously, we can't really do anything to affect Congress decisions and stuff, but I don't know, man. Nowadays, Twitter is super powerful, and causing a ruckus is probably the best way to make change. And also, to the people who only got $600 after this super long pandemic, I'm sorry that the people governing you are incompetent and pathetic. I really do feel for you. You deserve more 100%, but at this point, all you can do is try to keep cool and think logically, and hopefully we can get everybody that 2K handed out, right? Anyways, I think that does it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe if you're new. We've got 7 days to get 10,000 subs for 400K. At this point, probably not gonna happen. We need 2K subs a day, but yeah, whatever. Thank you for watching again. Comment below what you think about this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.